It's time for another season of the Roadrunner Review, the 30-minute magazine show featuring Metro State sports and our highlights from the past month.
The excitement of the fall sports season is just around the corner, and we're here to get you excited for all of your favorite fall sports teams.
I can't wait for those seasons to start up, but we also have an RMAC Hall of Fame inductee to talk about and much more on the Roadrunner Review. Thanks for joining us for the first Roadrunner Review of the 2013-14 season. We're outside the Rarity Event Center, home of our volleyball team. We'll talk about them later on in the show. But first, we have to head over to Myles Potter, who updates us on all the Roadrunner news. He replaces Paula Ruelas, who left for greener pastures. Myles, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. So happy to be a part of the Roadrunner Review. And we do wish Paula the best of luck in her new endeavors. All right, Metro State fans, let's get you caught up on all the Metro State news. We have a trifecta of head coaching changes that took place over the summer. Daniel Hengstifer takes over the tennis program after former coach Beck Mears leaves for a native land of Australia. Hengstifer spent the past 3 seasons overlooking the Midwestern State program as an assistant coach. He was a part of the Mustangs when they reached the Elite Eight in 2013. Our softball team will also have a new leader in Annie Vedwedzinga, was named head coach during the month of August. She has RMAC experience leading the Colorado Mines team, where she was named RMAC Coach of the Year in 2008. And finally, Nick Moss takes over the track, field, and cross-country program after former coach John Supsick resigned. He spent the past 3 seasons as an assistant coach beside Supsick. And I'll see you later in the show when we dive right into the women's soccer team and their outlook for the 2013 season. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Myles. Before we get into all the fall sports season previews, first bring you Mark Worthington and his induction into the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Hall of Fame. Our own Eric Lansing has a story.
It's sort of been the way that Metro State's always been. Someone falls out and people, fans, go up to the coaches and say, well, how are you going to replace Patrick Mutombo? Well, here comes Luke Kendall, and he does a great job his senior year. How are you going to replace Luke Kendall? Then it was my turn.
Mark Worthington is revered as one of the all-time great basketball players in Metro State history. He was a freshman when his team won the national title in 2002, but he would go on to make his own mark, playing in 2 more Elite Eights and winning the National Player of the Year in his senior season. While 7 other individuals and 3 teams were also inducted into the Hall of Fame, Worthington may have traveled the longest distance to receive his award.
Well, I flew from Melbourne, so it took about 22 hours to get here, but I like coming back here and catching up with old friends that I haven't been able to see in the past 5 years, so it's been great. I remember walking in the office on the first day to Coach Dunlap, and he's like, Mark, nice to meet you, and I said, good to meet you too, Mike. Well, that was the last time I called him Mike.
Worthington learned from another RMAC Hall of Famer and former Metro State head coach Mike Dunlap. The 2-time national championship coach instilled a work ethic that still resides with him today.
Worked very hard to obviously still be playing professional now. You don't get it just by cruising through, and he taught me a lot of things, but definitely the work ethic was the main one for me.
The 6'7" forward continued his basketball career after Metro State, playing in numerous professional leagues across seas and playing for his native land in the 2008 and 2012 Summer Olympics.
It's been great. Been with the national team for 9 years now and playing professionally for 9 years now. It's been fantastic, and I've got to play all around the world, and I'm very grateful for it. And yeah, it's a massive thrill, and obviously when I represent Australia, there's no bigger honour for myself.
It's been 8 years since Worthington has donned the red and blue, but the success he brought to downtown Denver still resonates today, even with the present-day team.
They're on the right track. There's a tradition, there's definitely those cornerstones that Dunlap has put in that DC has brought back, and the kids have to buy in. They work hard, they train hard, they play hard, and the results come. And, there's a lot more good things to come for those boys going forward. Thank you very much for having me. It was a long flight to get here, but it was worth every moment, reliving all the memories and moments. And Coach Clark and I have been talking over the last 3 days, and it just comes flooding back to you how great the time was. And, I can only wish that people in the future, when they come up to accept their awards here, appreciate it just as much as what I am right now. So thank you.
Mark Worthington had a season to remember in the 2004-2005 campaign. In his senior season, the Aussie averaged 19.8 points per game, which was the third best mark of all time for one season. He scored 654 total points, which ranked second all time for a single year. That total was just 12 points shy behind the great Gene Edwards. Worthington connected on 196 free throws during that fantastic season, and that put him alone at the top of every other Roadrunner in history. During that season, the forward carried the red and blue all the way to the Elite Eight and was rewarded for his efforts by being named the National Player of the Year in Division II. And we know you can't get enough Metro State basketball, so let's get you updated on this year's new recruits. Hoping to take over for the departing Demetrius Miller, head coach Derek Clark signed 6'2" guard Raul Delgado. The Chihuahua, Mexico native spent the last season at Division I Brigham Young University. Freshman Andre Lane also comes over as a guard, but he's homegrown after playing in Evergreen at Evergreen High School. But who's going to take over for All-American Jonathan Morris? There are 3 solid candidates that will wear the red and blue this season. Will Sinclair continues the Australian connection as the 6'9" center hails from Lilydale, Australia. He is a Utah Valley transfer. Harrison Goodrick is a 6'8" forward from Sydney, Australia, and averaged 26 points per game while pulling down almost 13 rebounds per contest. And finally, Obi Che is another Sydney product who stands at 6'7", and he was his league's Rookie of the Year last season. Time to get excited, Roadrunner fans, as the season opens up on Friday, November 15th. Still to come on the show, our women's soccer team got hot at the right time last season and carried that momentum all the way to the NCAA Sweet 16. But do they have what it takes to create some deja vu in 2013? We'll tell you next on the Roadrunner Review.
You want it, and this is your last year, and we're going to give it our all. There's a lot of pressure on us to get back there and even get farther, because I think as a senior, I'm not going to feel satisfied if I don't walk away with something.
The season never ends here at the MSBN, and sometimes we drag, so sometimes we need a kick in the butt.
Ralphie! Are you kidding me, Ralphie? You call that a highlight tape? That's pathetic. Who taught you how to wrap a cord? Babish? That's a joke. You call this a tape job? Rowdy! Are you serious? Do you call that dancing? That's terrible.
Welcome back, and now it's time we go in depth on our fall sports seasons, and we bring Myles back, who brings you a first-hand look into Coach Pete's team. Coach Pete's.
That's right, guys. Coach Adrian Amers got married over the summer and will be referred to as Coach Pete's. From all of us at the Roadrunner Review, we would like to wish the happy couple best of luck. Now to the soccer team, where they look to carry over some magic from the 2012 season.
Carissa Price now dancing in traffic, left side, cranks one with the right foot. Ball calls in right over the hands of Yalen Yates, and what a cannon!
While this team is focused on this year, it's really hard to forget about the great run to the Sweet 16 last year. Many players look very hungry and determined to return to the NCAA tournament and go much further.
There's a lot of pressure on us to get back there and even get farther, because I think as a senior, I'm not going to feel satisfied if I don't walk away with something.
Many people might be worried after losing 5 seniors, but the Roadrunners are going to open the season as the number 10 ranked team in the nation.
You know, I never have looked at rankings, preseason rankings, season rankings. At the end of the day, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. One
of the challenges for this Metro's team is going to be their back line. They lose 2 all-region defenders in Kelsey Newland and Haley Rinko, and their starting goalkeeper, Jordan Simpkins.
You know, I was very comfortable playing with Kelsey and Haley, and now, kind of being back there and kind of teaching the younger players how to play, there's a little bit of pressure to kind of make them feel comfortable, but we have a lot of talent.
This is going to be the 3rd straight season Metro has to find a new starting goalkeeper. The battle is going to be between redshirted freshman Carissa Fernandez and true freshman Nicole Jablonski.
And I think that's a big hole that we're going to have to get filled right away and get sorted out and work on it. But definitely this preseason talking a lot about defensive shape.
While the defense is going to be trying to find their footing, the offense and midfield should be right on point. With 3rd-team All-American Carissa Price and Colorado native Nicole Pollock, goals won't be hard to come by.
I think we have a pretty solid midfield. I mean, Becca and I have been together since we were 10 years old, so I think that helps us a lot. And we added Jordan last year, and I think that's going to be huge for us.
Yeah, I guess his last season, just coming out and being confident. It's a new team, and all the other teams have new players as well, so it's not like I'm expecting anything, just got to work hard and have my teammates behind me.
The Roadrunners look to have another incredible season, and you can check out every home game right here at the Auraria Field. But if you can't make it down to the field, you can check them out on America1.com. But have you ever wondered what a player's like off the field? MSBN has an exclusive player profile of Nicole Pollock.
Hi, I'm Kevin Hall, here with senior midfielder Nicole Pollock with another installment of Player Profiles. Nicole, thanks for being on our Player Profile.
Of course.
Now, first question. You've played your entire career here at Metro. How fast has it gone for you?
Super quick. Another senior, Becca, and I, we were just thinking the other day, man, I can't believe we're already done. We're going to cry the whole season.
And why did you choose to come to Metro?
I love Denver. My family's here. And I just love the mountains, and it's a good place to be.
What's your favorite part about coming here at Metro?
The soccer.
Of course. And so what is your major?
Environmental science, and I'm getting my teaching degree.
And what do you plan on doing with that?
Teaching high school science.
Is that the dream job?
Yeah, and I want to coach at the high school.
So just like any high school, or you want freshmen, you want seniors, something in between?
Juniors, most likely freshmen, but not seniors because they're just lazy.
And so we know you have an outrageous personality, dressing up as a cow for basketball games. Where do you get your personality from?
My parents are pretty crazy, so that's probably part of it. And then my brother and my sister, we just have kind of a wild family.
Who's the craziest out of your family, you or someone else?
Me.
And so before you go out on the field, what song are you listening to get pumped up?
Well, Crash and I were just talking about this the other day, and I was looking for pump-up songs for this season's warm-up tape, and I was like, man, no songs pump me up anymore, so I don't really have one.
What's your favorite song at the moment? How about that?
Oh, God. I don't have one, honestly. I really don't.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing that what were you just listening to this morning?
That new song by that 16-year-old New Zealand girl.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Player Profiles with Nicole Pollock. I'm Kevin Hall. We'll see you next time.
We'll be featuring a new player every week at GoMetroState.com and on our Facebook page. We have to take a break, but when we come back, Coach Parson returns for his 10th season as the men's head soccer coach, and his boys look ready to take down the conference heavyweights. We'll be right back on the Roadrunner Review.
Are you a college student that needs a place to live? Are you still living with your parents and want your own space? The Regency Student Housing is perfect for you. The community offers many amenities such as a fitness center, 2 basketball courts, big screen amphitheater, all-you-can-eat dining hall, bowling alley, arcade, free parking, and a shuttle to and from the Auraria campus. For more information, please call 303-477-1950 or visit our website at regencystudenthousing.com.
Some students come to Metropolitan State University of Denver to find their future. Others look to sharpen their current skills. In the case of David Thibodeau, it was both. Our faculty helped fuel his entrepreneurial spirit while encouraging him to pursue his personal passions. These two talents came together in Ska Brewing Company, which he co-founded in 1998 in Durango and is considered one of the top up-and-coming Colorado companies.
The Roadrunner Review would like to thank its sponsors, Jason's Deli. Real food is fresh, higher quality, more flavorful, less processed, and naturally better tasting. Get real food at any Jason's Deli location. And the Boulder Broker Inn, a proud partner and preferred hotel for Metro State Athletics.
Thanks for coming back to the Roadrunner Review. Seems like at the start of every men's soccer season, we're asking the same question. Who's going to step up and replace that top goal scorer from last year's team? Last year it was Mark Hirschberger, who scored 12 goals in his senior season, and that's not the only question mark facing Coach Parsons and his team starting their new campaign.
Arubla gets a touch. Hirschberger has a chance here. Gets a pass to keep in the goal. We are all tied up at 2 apiece, and Hirschberger.
Every year we kind of address it from the standpoint that we're not looking for one person to kind of make up those numbers, but I think that Brendan Hughes, is going to be capable of scoring a lot of goals. And again, I don't think we have to get them all with one person, so I think we can spread those points around. And but we always say that we don't need we need to have a well-balanced attack, and but it always seems like somebody will step up.
Senior forward Brendan Hughes is ready to step into that goal-scoring role, but looks for more of a team effort in that department.
Just make a good combination with Danny. I'll most likely be playing up top with him, so filling out that combination between the two of us, making a good tandem. And we're gonna have a lot of guys that are gonna contribute for goal scoring. Some new guys: McKeer, Andy Lopez, midfielder Andrew Mejia now.
Whoa. Midfielder Andrew Mejia? Coach, did we miss something?
We're still playing with a lot of ideas. I think again with Mejia, you want to get obviously the max that you can out of him. And is it as a wide back? Obviously, because he's been very successful there. That you don't see a lot of points usually traditionally come out of that position. So I wouldn't say that we're completely 100% sold on where we're going to put him yet. It's just going to be, I think, first off, where does Mejia help us most?
One question that seems to be answered is where last year's RMAC Freshman of the Year, Danny Arubla, will be on the field. Arubla will have to stay out of that sophomore slump for this team to be successful.
As a freshman, you can come out and kind of surprise a lot of people. Sophomore year, they're going to come up with a scouting report, and say, okay, let's take this away. So sophomore year is always a tough one, but I think that Arubla has got a high sense of pride for what he looks for in his own game and what his numbers need to look like. So I don't think he's going to just settle for the so-called sophomore slump.
The opposing team's goalies will have their hands full facing Metro's forwards, but no one still knows who will be on the other side of the pitch in net for Metro.
It's going to be an open competition, and I think it's just going to be that player who demonstrates the ability to keep us in games. They don't have to make always the miraculous saves, but they have to make the saves that we ask them to make, and if they can make a special save, once or twice a game, then that's really what we're looking for.
Let us crunch some numbers as we look at our goal scorers in our By the Numbers segment. Losing Hirschberger's 12 goals is a huge loss for the Roadrunners, but of the 47 goals scored in 2012, 33 of those netters will be back. Freshman phenom Danny Arubla actually led the team with 13, and Andy Lopez returns to improve on his 4-goal season. So don't fret, Metro State fans. Goals will be plentiful this season. Don't forget you can check out the likes of Andrew Mejia and Danny Arubla for every home match on America1.com. Don't miss a single goal or save in the 2013 season. Coming up next on the show, we dive into the volleyball season preview, and we'll tell you if they can make it 13 straight seasons earning a top spot in the big dance. Don't go anywhere.
We know you want family-friendly sporting events.
Sporting events where you can be comfortable
and entertained in a positive environment. Watching great individuals and teams compete.
With commitment, effort, and good sportsmanship. That's what the Division II Game Environment Initiative is about.
Be a part of the excitement and find out why. These student athletes say with pride,
I chose
Division II.
I love learning.
I believe in service. I am full of passion.
I embody sportsmanship.
I trust in my resourcefulness.
I like balance.
That's why I chose
Division II.
The Roadrunner Review is brought to you by its proud sponsors, Panorama Orthopedics and Spine Center. From sports injuries to spine injuries to total joints for arthritis, they are in your neighborhood caring for your injuries. Located at 3 convenient locations, Golden, Littleton, and Thornton.
Welcome back. This season, much like last season, the term to describe the team is new. With 8 new players, 6 of which are freshmen, the team will definitely have some growing pains this coming season. But Coach Debbie Hendricks, entering her 14th season, always has their team acting like veterans by season's end.
Well, it's got its challenges, but in a lot of ways, it can bring a freshness into your program, and that's what's happening. They're infusing us with some great new attitudes and perspective and talent.
With a wave of new players and spots to fill, the team will have an uphill climb to get back to the big dance and reach the NCAA tournament for the 14th straight season.
I think we'll be a team, whereas in the past we've always been really good at the beginning and then we kind of peak and drop off. I think we're going to be climbing all season long and hit the peak at the right time.
With all these new girls, they brought a lot of different adversity to the team, so we're able to change things up with our offense. We're going to be really good defensively, so I don't think that it's really going to change anything at all.
Veteran leadership will be key in getting this team back to the tournament, and with only 2 seniors on the team, Alyssa Heath and Alex Green will be called upon frequently to guide the squad.
Probably the most important thing is we just need that steadiness, for them to be both leaders on and off the floor and go-to players for us.
I think I'm definitely going to have to be more of a vocal voice on the court and off the court, making sure that the newbies are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and as the libero, just being that loud vocal leader on the court, taking charge of the back row.
Knowing that they can kind of keep things steady out there while we bring along some of the newer players, and I think that, calmness, composure, and understanding of what we do, that's probably the most valuable thing that they bring. But they both look really good right now.
Normally a mainstay in the national rankings, the Roadrunners start this season ranked out of the top 25. The team will have a chance to jump into those rankings when they take part in the Colorado Premier Challenge, taking on the nation's top teams.
We're going to get plenty of opportunities. I think we counted 5 or 6 matches in the first month that we're going to play nationally ranked teams, and I think that'll give us an idea where we stand pretty quickly.
I think it's so much fun. It's just a time where you can just go all out and compete as hard as you want, and if you lose, you lose. You're playing against top teams. It feels good to play against good competition.
In our player spotlight, we featured junior outside hitter Lauren Quijano, who earned AVCA All-America Honorable Mention last season. The California native was also named first team All-RMAC after finishing third in hitting percentage at .304. She averaged 3 kills per set in 2012 and will be heavily relied upon to carry this team with so many new faces on the squad.
I just want to lead by example, and then since they're all freshmen, it's like they're looking at us since we are veterans, so we want to show what Metro State's all about. There might be a little bit drop in chemistry in a way, just because they don't really know what we're supposed to do right now. They're still learning. But from these past few practices, I've been seeing it get up really well. It's been getting picked up really well, and they're following along really easily. So I think it'll be hard at first, but it'll get better soon.
What's it like playing in such a prestigious tournament, playing against some of the top teams in the nation?
It feels good to go out there and just prove who we are. I know right now we aren't ranked top 25, but when we go out on that premier tournament, we're there to show everyone what we're about. They don't know who Metro is because our team is so new. So I'm just excited to play all these new teams and just compete.
Now, if you can't make it to those exciting games, be sure to check out America1.com to see your Roadrunners take their rightful spot in the top 25 rankings. Still to come on the show, our cross-country team gears up for their fall season, and we'll give you the 5 players that you need to keep a close eye on that could make huge differences in how their team's season plays out. We're coming right back.
Metro State Roadrunners, one of the most successful Division II programs in the nation. 6 national championships. 65 conference championships in the RMAC. 248 All-Americans. The season is almost here, and admission is free for all students. Great prizes will be handed out at select games, so make sure you're in the crowd. You can also follow the Roadrunners through Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and GoMetroState.com. Get in the game and get rowdy.
Coming down the home stretch of the Roadrunner Review, the first one of the season. Earlier on the show, you heard Nick Moss took over the reins for the cross-country and track and field teams.
True, but that shouldn't slow down these Roadrunners, who have quite the talent returning on both our men's and women's teams, who look to make some waves in the RMAC. The women entered their season ranked 23rd in the nation, and a big reason is the return of sophomore RMAC all-preseason selection Brianna Hemming. Another sophomore in Janelle Links also returns, and she qualified for the national meet last season. The conference has our women picked to finish 5th.
Now for the men, who returned 4 of its top 5 runners from the 2012 season. National track qualifier Kirk Harvey returns as a senior to lead the squad. Junior Nick Cadlick also returns and qualified for the national meet in cross country in his sophomore campaign. The team was picked to finish 6th in the preseason conference poll. You can follow the cross country team all season long at GoMetroState.com. Time for top plays, and we feature the top players to watch for the fall season. At number 5, we feature sophomore outside hitter Kylie Hahn. We know about Heath and Keanu, but the South Carolina native could play a huge role in this team making a run at the conference title. Hahn finished 3rd on the team in kills per set with 2.56, and in total kills with 202, and has all the tools to become all-conference selection by the end of the season.
Another super sophomore graces our fourth player to watch for. Brianna Hemming burst onto the track and field scene with Metro last season and broke numerous records, which included the school record in the 1500 and 800 meters. She also brought home some hardware in the outdoor track and field championships, winning gold in the same events. She'll lead the women's cross-country team starting this September.
Another track and field stud has his eyes on the national meet, as senior Kirk Harvey has a ton to prove after just missing out on the biggest meet in 2012. The Lafayette native earned third-team All-RMAC in cross-country last season. During the 2012 Metro State Invitational, the senior finished second overall, earning the RMAC's Runner of the Week for October 10th. Look for Harvey to run with some ambition and anger to return to the top of the RMAC.
Okay, it's no surprise that men's soccer star Andrew Mejia is on this list, but the reason why we chose him might be. For the first 3 years of his career, the preseason Defensive Player of the Year played on that back line, keeping opponents off the scoreboard. But as you heard earlier in the show, Coach Parsons might use Mejia at the midfield position to utilize his talents on the scoring end to prove an already talented offense. Wherever he plays, you can expect nothing but the best from one of the best players in the conference.
It's always fun. Each game's a battle, and I mean, it does beat you up a little bit, but it makes it really entertaining, that's for sure. I just want to set a good example for the younger guys, and I mean, we'll never know what the next year's holds. So we have a good team this year, and I think we're all going to push for it.
So while we don't know where Mejia might be playing this season, you know exactly what you're getting from the top player to watch this fall. Carissa Price graces our #1 spot, and you can expect the junior to find the back of the net on a regular basis. The talented forward earned third-team All-American in 2012 after scoring 16 goals and adding 3 assists for a team-high 35 points. Price was voted to the RMAC All-Preseason Team and hopes to bring the red and blue back to the Sweet 16 for the 2013 season.
Same mentality, I guess, as last season, just coming out and being confident. It's a new team, and all the other teams can have new players as well, so it's not like I'm expecting anything, just got to work hard and have my teammates behind me. Just working against them every day is making us better, making them better, so I'm not too worried about it. Obviously you got to score goals to win, you got to keep them out of the goal to win, so that's the objective.
Those are your top players to watch for the fall season. So excited for the fall sports season to start up, which includes our brand new women's golf team. And to get all the highlights from the fall sports teams, check out GoMetroState.com.
Well, thanks for joining us here on the Roadrunner Review. Be sure to check out next month's show for more high-flying Metro State action. But for Peter Aragon, Myles Potter, and the entire Roadrunner Review staff, I'm Kevin Hall, and we'll see you next time.